Hello and welcome to Unit 4. First, I just want to say a big Yesher Koach to all of you. We are just about halfway through our class. Yesher Koach means, may you be strengthened. I know that there is a lot of material and we're just scratching the surface, really. Maturing in Messiah is a lifetime journey where I hope to be just a little more Messiah-like every day. So we're growing together, and I just really appreciate all the effort that you have put into our course so far. Okay, by way of review, in Unit 1, we emphasized establishing your time of prayer in the morning and Jewish identity for our spiritual practices track. Then, for our nuts and bolts track, we discussed the two comings of Messiah in Tanakh. In Unit 2, we focused on the larger themes of the Jewish service and how Jewish prayer is inseparably linked with sacrifice in the temple. We went into some detail next on Yeshua's healing atonement, how to understand his sacrificial death in terms of the sacrificial system in the Torah and in Jewish terms. Then for our Unit 2, Nuts and Bolts track, we attempted to unpack the divine human Messiah, the Trinity, if you will, in Jewish terms, Messiah who became our eternal sacrifice. In Unit 3, our spiritual practices track took us into Shabbat. I hope you enjoyed Dave's video and the chapter from Heschel's The Sabbath. Also, were you able to host a Shabbat dinner over the past couple weeks? If you did, and that was your first time, let Dave and I know how it went. We'd love to hear from you. Also, in our spiritual practices track in Unit 3, we went a little deeper into spending time with God in contemplation, in stillness and solitude and rest as we discuss learning how to hear from God in our lives. In Unit 3 real-time class, we covered Yeshua in his first century Jewish context. We'll get these recordings out to you soon. Once again, if you are behind, just focus on catching up with the videos to get the big idea. You can save the readings that you missed and come back to them later if you'd like. And also, we'll be taking a break for Passover during Unit 5. So we'll have a whole month for Unit 5, an extra 2-week time to catch up with anything that you'd like to follow up on. Now, let's go through the Unit 4 packet. Let's start with the topics and videos in the first square. First thing is to watch the video so you get the big picture for the unit. After this video, you can watch the readings in a nutshell video. The purpose of that video is to help you to catch the big picture for the readings, why we chose them, what the big takeaways are, and anything that we felt important for context as you read them. If you're unable to do the readings in the expanded section, for example, this is a great way to get a feel for those ideas. In spiritual practices for Unit 4, we'll be focusing on the next basic category of Jewish life, kashrut, the Jewish dietary covenant. Dave has posted a really great video called The Basics of Kashrut, where he walks through some of the basics of why we keep kosher and some of the how-tos. Then we get to watch a video from Dave and Serena walking through their kosher kitchen. Thank you, Dave and Serena, for opening your home to us. I really enjoyed this video. If kashrut is new to you, don't think of it as an all-or-nothing kind of a thing. The basics in the Torah is a great place to start. Then when it comes to keeping a kosher kitchen today, there are a number of different approaches and standards and ways to do it. So talk with Dave or Serena or Reina and I if you would like to explore what might work for you in your own home. Kashrut is not intended to be a burden. And remember, people and relationships come first. Next, in our kosher topic, I have a series of short videos on Yeshua and kashrut. Here, I will walk through some of the passages that at times have been understood to abrogate the Torah's dietary laws for Jews who follow Yeshua. Here, I will also discuss how Yeshua's values might inform what keeping kosher looks like for Messianic Jews. Our next set of videos continues our prayer time theme. Dave takes us through the second pillar of our morning service in the Siddur called Pezuke de Zimra, a time of praise. After this short video, he posted a Spotify list of some of these prayers in song form, as well as some of the more traditional melodies, so feel free to have a listen. Next, we continue in our prayer theme with our discussion on learning how to hear from God more in our daily lives. We'll continue with Hearing God Part 2 and get into some of the different ways that God speaks to us and how we can discern His voice from the other voices that we have around us. For our Messianic Jewish Nuts and Bolts topic, we'll be taking a look at the first Messianic Jews in the book of Acts and introducing a new kind of scholarship on the Apostle Paul called Paul within Judaism. This is critical for understanding Paul, the Jewish apostle. This will be during our February 27th class, so we don't have a video. There are a few readings that prep for this class that we'll talk about in the Readings in a Nutshell video. Okay, over to our second step, the Messianic Jewish Lab. After watching Dave's overview, during your morning time of prayer, take some time to scroll through the Pezuke de Zimra prayers in the Koran Siddur and just familiarize yourself with the prayers. Perhaps there'll be one or two that you'll want to incorporate more regularly into your prayer time. Second, we've been working on taking time in stillness. Take 5 minutes in stillness, like we have last unit. This time, intentionally ask God, what do you think of me? Listen and write down what comes up for you. Journal about it, or write down anything that you might feel like comes from God in a particular way. Pay particular attention to images that might come up, a word or a concept, a song that just pops into your mind. Just write about it. If you're not sure if it's from God, that's okay. Journal about it anyway. If you don't feel like you hear much of anything, or not anything comes up for you, that's okay too. Learning to hear from God begins with stillness and listening and lots of waiting. Thirdly, we continue with the daily Devar during our morning prayer time, and I've updated the readings for this unit. For our Kashrut topic, a big part of Kashrut is intentionality. Make an effort to eat sitting down. Take a deep breath and thanking God before you eat. Try to notice each bite and then thank God again after you're done. A fun fact, the Torah actually tells us to thank God after we've eaten. So while we say a blessing before we eat, and that's really important, try to do it afterwards as well. Deuteronomy 8:10 says, "When you have eaten and are satisfied, praise the Lord your God for the good land He has given you." What's one thing you might do to grow in your observance of Kashrut? Share about this with your Chavruta. I actually learned during the preparation for this unit that sitting down when eating is a part of Kashrut. So that's one thing that I'm trying to incorporate more because I tend to eat lunch on the go. For your meeting with your Chavruta, check in with each other. See how your prayer time is going. Talk about your experiences hearing God and discuss your thoughts on Kashrut. There's a study sheet here detailing some of the biblical passages around Kashrut to go through. And just have fun connecting with each other. The simple version again is just listen to the videos, choose some of the lab assignments, meet with your Chavruta, and then browse through the readings that you feel like you have time for. Get the big picture, and if time is short, don't feel badly about skipping a reading or an assignment. As always, keep me posted on how you're doing. Let me know what's really working for you. Let me know if there are any areas that you're struggling with or need help managing the material, or if you have any questions about the material. Dave and I will be available for the Friday learning time for lunch at noon this week if you'd like to join in. And keep in touch and happy learning. We'll see you in the next video.